Welcome back to the Play versus Fall Championship. My name is TJ, joined by one Matthew Covey Samuelson. As we kick things off yet again, we're headed to Massachusetts, Covey.
TJ, I couldn't help but notice that the state we're in based on what's behind you. That's so clever of you. So advanced.
What's really cool, we had a little, full disclosure, we had some tech issues, so I had time. I had a little bit too much time. That is actually the county that Natick is in. So there you go. It's like a tie-in.
The number 1 seed coming into this game, as I think we should probably cover how these state championships are played on out, TJ. Going to be best of 3 formats. Yeah, best of 3 formats for the 29 teams.
I got distracted by how clever I was being. I forgot to mention that this is one of 29 state and regional championships.
That's fine. I liked the cleverness. I like the bit. And I like the fact that we're covering the state of Massachusetts with these state finals because, TJ, we've got some pretty high-ranked players in this game. Always impressed to see 3 players hit diamond amongst the 10 in this game in high school. As a collegiate coach, I got to say that's a pretty impressive accomplishment for these players coming on up.
Whoa! Did you know that Massachusetts' official slogan is the Baked Bean State?
Really?
According to Wikipedia, which I apologize for using Wikipedia. I'm supposed to be modeling good behavior for high school students. But according to Wikipedia, Massachusetts is the baked bean state. That is all the information I have for you at this time. Let's talk about the draft.
As long as you don't source that in your paper, it's okay. Just find the actual source for where that comes from.
Yeah, hold on.
we will start working on that, but meanwhile, we have to work on this draft. Bands flying on through, TJ. We are going to see some niche bands come on through, just given the fact that it is 2 high school teams going up against each other. There's going to be a lot of pocket picks that we see.
Professor Samuelson?
I see a way.
The source is Jennifer Herman's Massachusetts Encyclopedia of State History.
Okay.
In which she writes, quote, various nicknames have been given to describe Massachusetts, including the Bay State, the Old Bay State, the Pilgrim State, the Puritan State, the Old Colony State, and less often, the Baked Bean State. I know which one I'd run with. I'm just saying Massachusetts if you're taking recommendations. Let's talk about this draft.
Champions
over on the left
in.
side, we get a Mordekaiser. It is Aurelia and Rengar to answer.
TJ gets an A on the read-through of the Baked Bean State and the champions coming on through so far. I'm going to hold my grades for the draft, but I do like the fact that Kane is coming on through as a jungler, someone that saw a lot of benefits from this preseason patch. A lot of strength in the Gore Drinker coming on through and some options with Eclipse as well for itemization. That's why we're seeing a lot more Kane.
Alongside a Syndra and Mordekaiser, they will have a pretty terrifying mid to late game power spike. A little bit weaker kind of across the board during the early game though, so that's something I look to see exploited, particularly as Shrewsbury, who are a darn good high school team, pull out a Rengar and a Aurelia, both of which can duel during the early mid-game, and a Cassiopeia, which can match in that scaling towards lane.
Yeah, I think it's important to note before we hop into game how these teams got here. Shrewsbury High School going by the gatekeepers for this one. They took second in the regular season, but these guys come in with some pedigree under their belts. They have won all of the Play versus high school tournaments that they have had since the 2018 fall semester. So a lot of dominance coming through from this team, trying to keep it up this year as well, and finally might have met their match over in the Farmville winners. See those pickle farmers coming on in. They come in as the first seed.
We do get a Kai'Sa down there in the bottom lane, and this is exciting to me, Matthew, because Rengar is one of the characters I think is weirdly benefiting from the current patch. He does like an insane amount of late game damage, and I think Kai'Sa is sort of in that category as well, where typically the narrative about Kai'Sa is that she's weak in the early game, but that has definitely not been the pace of things on this patch, where she does a devastating amount of early game damage.
Kraken Slayer feels really good on Kai'Sa, adding even more tank shredding ability to her kit, which is already really good at shredding tanks. So why we're seeing quite a bit of her as well. And as these drafts round out, TJ, like the fact you point out the Rengar, my eyes actually kind of go up towards the top side. Aurelia has a very good matchup into the Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser can always pull someone in that Death Realm and isolate them. So I'm really curious to see how 12 is going to utilize that ability.
Do you have a winner coming out of this draft? Anyone standing out to you?
Ooh, I mean, the winner for me is always seeing Jinx played, because I love watching Jinx. When she gets excited, I get excited.
All right, let's head into our first game of potentially 3 here in the Massachusetts State Final. The Baked Bean State comes down to this.
I have never been so hyped in my life after hearing it's the Baked Bean State.
Yeah.
Are baked beans your go-to? I'm curious.
You know, as an English person, I am really into baked beans.
Okay. I've got a great meaty baked bean recipe.
Staple of the English diet.
Yeah. I do have a great meaty baked bean recipe for you, if you want it. Just selfless plug.
Talk after the cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slip it under the desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let's head into it. You talked about the Jinx. You were ready to see the Jinx. I think this is going to be a battle of the jungle during the early game. That Rengar and the Kayn are both in a place where if they get out ahead, they can be devastatingly hard to deal with, and both teams have squishy targets for those assassins to focus in on. But once we get to late game, it is going to be about the Jinx, the Kai'Sa, and of course our 2 mid laners, the Syndra playing off against a Cassiopeia.
Like the fact you highlight the junglers as well, because I think Rengar is exciting. Also, just so happens that Sajid's last hope does come into this match, Diamond 2, which, fun fact, as a collegiate coach, higher rank than players that I have on my roster. And so that's very impressive for a high scorer coming on through. We're going to have to see if Sajid's last hope can be the shining light for his team as he's trying to pull through a dub.
I'm excited to see more from these 2 teams. I was trying to pull up here on my notes one of the players over on Farmville Winners wrote in their document. We have a document that talks about what they would like to be when they grow up, that sort of thing. Future plans, and it's stuff like journalism and different careers and education they'd like to go into. Ethan, or Pickle Farmer 21, wrote, "I want to be Sajid when I grow up."
I think these teams might be pretty familiar with these with each other, which makes me happy. So, some friendly banter going on between these guys as we are starting to get onto the rift here, TJ. Early game starting to take shape. Both junglers going for a pretty large clear. We do have Rengar moving over to his bottom side a little bit quicker, possibly looking to make a play on the mid lane. And what I love to see is that ward actually coming out from Syndra. I know it's off screen, but you can see it on the mini-map in your bottom right. Dropped deep to try and scout out where Rengar might be. Good team play already coming on through from the 1 seed.
Pickle Farmer up at the very top of this is in trouble. That Mordekaiser pull was beautiful. And that's going to be Akumo dropping as the first kill of this game.
Very slick coming out there from number 12 in the top lane. All these guys have Pickle Farmer their names. Like, I don't know if we're just going to go by numbers.
Yeah, I said Pickle Farmer because by default I ignore numbers in people's names, but that will not do me well here.
Yeah, number 12 gets the first kill of the game. As
it's rather dystopian, though.
It does feel rather dystopian. I don't know. Pickles were a pretty high value item in Farmville, and so it's nice to see him at least get some gold, farming up pickles already in this top side.
What about baked beans?
I am not familiar with the baked bean currency in Farmville. I only looked up pickles. I was not ready for the baked bean one.
Wait, I thought are you a fake gamer? I thought you played Farmville.
What? Oh, I did, but I mean.
But you had to look this up?
I did, yeah. It's been a long time. They released Farmville 2. That's not legitimate. You gotta go old school. Always old school Farmville.
I remember in the early 2000s when web games like Farmville were legitimately seen as the future of gaming.
Yes.
And you had all these big companies like Ubisoft putting tons of money into them.
Fun fact, I created a Facebook account to play Farmville, much to my parents' dismay.
I'd be pretty disappointed in my child as well.
Yeah.
Leona, down here in the bot lane, piloted by the Loud One, is doing what Leona ought to do in this map, that being zoning the opposition back, enabling a C athlete for your AD carry. Watch for both those supports, but especially Leona, to get a lot more powerful as this game goes on.
Something I want to see from both these sports as well, TJ, is actually getting out of the bot lane, right? Getting some roams off. Love the fact that Nautilus is going for a deep ward there, even more scouting on where this Rengar, where Sajid might be on the map. So once again, some good team play coming out here from the Farmville winners. It's going to help give them more information, try and make better decisions as the game goes on.
Ooh. Kumo really getting bullied here in the top lane. A very, very good play from number 12 there.
This is a good matchup for Aurelia. This is something that Akumio can punish, but the solo kill going over to Mordekaiser, that early Bramble Vest coming out through to reduce the healing that Aurelia has in her kit. Very clutch from the Mordekaiser. Like to see it.
They've been able to play very aggressive as a result. Akumio driven back behind turret repeatedly. This is gonna, on top of everything else, start to lead to a pretty significant CS lead. Well, again, Aurelia isn't gonna be able to catch this full wave if number 12 can crash her.
CS lead for me, TJ, goes over to the bot lane, where Jinx is behind the Kai'Sa. Jinx does have range advantage, so I think some of the play...
Leona advantage, though.
Yeah. Leona, a champion that is near and dear to both of us here on the casting desk, being support players ourselves, and has been crazy strong in the meta for a long time. So good to see that coming on through. As we're getting...
She hasn't had a bad season in a while.
Yeah, and it's nice to see because she goes in and has fun with this cool stuff like this.
The jungle roam, I believe, over here. We'll see if the setup pays off. There's a flash forward and a kill over to outside. That's a already pretty important lead being built there in the bottom lane. Mid lane, we'll see number 21 absolutely burned down jump for it. The Death Realm goes our top lane duel. Should it be needed, 37 is here to secure this kill. It's going to be well timed. Unclear if it's going to be enough damage, and Akumio will manage to escape.
It was a good flash from Akumio. I like the fact that Mordekaiser upped the Death Realm early to just make sure that Aurelia is isolated. Oh no.
Too early. You had the flank. Jump forward will sweep up here. And this should be a kill. Sajid is running for his life, and actually will get picked up as well. A double kill now over 12. Petrifying Gaze goes short. That was a bit of a mess. It could have been a pretty dominant fight up there to Shrewsbury, but the aggression was ill-timed, and Jump For It wasn't able to maximize the potential of that roam.
I mean, props to Jump For It, though. Came out of the gray screen for getting solo killed in the mid lane, makes a big play in the top lane, and actually gets both of those kills on the Cassiopeia. So, not behind anymore in this mid lane, and a Nautilus roam coming up to try and protect the Syndra as she does crash this wave. Should help her get a free base, but I want to see if Dragon's being taken, because Syndra and Cassiopeia, they both need to reset. They both need to base with these low health bars. And if one base is too early, it could open up a window for the other team to take that Dragon.
Ooh, this Drake is being contested by both sides. This is good League of Legends so far. Very proactive roams across the map. We're baking some beans out here.
So, one of my favorite dishes, Southwest Stew. Has baked beans in it, which I don't know if you had Southwest Stew,
for sharing.
But yeah,
no, I have no clue what that is.
My goal for this cast, TJ, is to actually bait you into as many of my good recipes as possible that you will cook on your own eventually. So I've got 2 so far.
There was a little bit of a threat there in the mid lane. Number 21 piloting the Syndrome was able to disengage. Now he will dive in now. This is Akumio trying to make good on a top lane duel that has broken against them for much of this early game. Number 12 on the Mordekaiser is still powerful enough to hold them at bay.
Actually, Akumio doing a pretty good job. Oh no, not again.
Again, a solo kill in the mid lane. The unleashed power just guaranteeing the stun. Akumio now in trouble up top as well. Dropped into the Death Realm and purged from existence as their ultimate goes wide. It is surely a single engagement away from yet another kill up top here. Akumio over the wall, though, may have just gotten away. A huge solo escape that can be managed, but no. Number 37 is there to pick things up. Down bottom, we do have a brawl breaking out as well. Solar Flare will go in. It's going to be a deep dive from both sides. Another kill to the Kai'Sa in the bottom line.
It seems as this bot lane is holding things together for the gatekeepers on the red side, because top, mid, not going well. Now we have a dive.
That's a little bit too deep, but a well-timed heal keeps the loud one alive. underneath the tower, Lowen will be annihilated by a good run from Sajid. Just like that, Shrewsbury works themselves something back. They may be struggling up top, they may be losing in the midline, but we have answers for all of that. There was a lane swap between top and mid, with Akumio taking towards mid and jump for it. Now bracing against this Mordekaiser in the top lane, and of course down bottom, the Kaiser is out ahead, 2-0 in the kill feed.
Feels like this Kaisa is going to be imperative as the game moves forward. She is the one member that has gotten significantly far ahead in the laning phase for the Gatekeepers. Meanwhile, Farmville winners, obviously, Mordekaiser, we've seen him in the top lane, holding that kill as well previously to gift to the Kayn, even helping number 37 get ahead a little bit as well. The Rift Herald drops, and this is even more gold going over to the Syndra, who has already netted a few solo kills for herself in the mid lane as well.
Rift Herald will claim the first turret, Syndra, as you say, benefiting massively as 2 chargers come out there. Supportal combat will break out down here, and actually there's a TP coming in all the way from spawn. That's going to be number 12 on the Mordekaiser, arriving down there in that bot lane duel with a flash hook forward. It could have gotten very dangerous. Still might. Lad 1 hovers a little longer than I would have thought necessary, but everyone will get away for Shrewsbury. They lose turret pressure in mid, but it does not get worse than that.
The Wild One was feeling pretty bold there in that brush. I was hoping that someone's going to face check the Leona. We can see how tanky that champion gets. Also, shout out to Loud One, rocking my favorite skin, hands down. The old school, Iron Solari.
I'm really into, God, I don't even know the name of the skin, the Twilight one.
How can you say that you're into it if you don't know it?
I don't memorize cosmetics.
All right, well that's fair. I don't either, but I know the one that you're talking about. It's, it might be, yeah. Like Lunar Leona or something.
There's some disconnected thought here. Mid lane, there will be some disconnected fights. It's going to be number 37 on the Kayn going down, and it could get even trade, as we will get worse here. 21 on the Syndra will fall, but Sajid himself in trouble. Will be burned down by Pickle Farmer 12.
Good to see Sajid on the map, though, taking the kill onto the Kayn, making a play as, oh, the dive.
Gap charge onto the Leona. Trying to focus them down through the turret. Kill will come through. Could be an even trade. Killer instinct. There is the attempt with a Void Seeker to firm the kill. Wozai finds her 4th kill, I believe, in that bot lane on the Kaisa.
Wozai's Kaisa is clean, man. She played so well in that fight. The Kaisa, I love how Wozai waited to fire off that W until Jinx flashed to just ensure that that ability lands and nets the kill. Really good play coming out from this bot lane of Gatekeepers and showing a lot of strength and resolve, because this is what is keeping things together for the Gatekeepers. They need this bot lane to be ahead, given the fact that Syndra got ahead early, Mordekaiser got ahead early. So this play coming out is going to really help them as the game moves forward, because we haven't hit that much on scaling, TJ, but Kaisa scales so incredibly well into this game.
The AD carry Wozai is played by Steven. And I was looking to see if we had any fun facts about him. He says, I haven't put too much thought into my future plans, but if I can play esports in college, that would be very nice. But yeah, maybe you gotta recruit that man.
Well, I'd say good thing to do to start on that path is adding a state championship to your resume. Doesn't look too bad. And I must say, that was a pretty sick play coming out of the bot lane as well, Wozai. So props to you, Steven, as you managed to pull that one off. Gonna have to see if that can continue throughout this game, as a lot of credit given to the Gatekeepers. They got off to a rough start, and they've really started to pull things back, TJ. I got it.
Don't say it too soon, though. The ultimate will hunt down jump for it. They do get successfully to safety.
0 days since
nothing
cast curse.
found there in the mid lane, yeah.
Okay, Dragon started on up. Look out for Wozai. 4-0 on the Kaisa. Kraken Slayer completed. That Killer Instinct comes out, could be lethal.
Oh, almost is. Here is Steven himself, instantly dropped into the death realm. In the meantime, this Aurelia of Acumio will fall again. The Mordekaiser has successfully denied the biggest source of damage in this fight at the cost of their own life, but that will be it. Pickle Farmer number 12, with heroic efforts there, mitigates the damage done by this bad Kai'Sa.
Yeah, that's one way to shut down the Kai'Sa, right? Just walk up as Mordekaiser and press R and bring her into another realm. That's one way to help out. That said, 2 for 1. So Gatekeepers, they do get a little bit more gold in their pockets. The objective going over to the Farmville winners, though, I have to say, I think both teams walk out feeling good about a little something, right? We get more gold on Kai'Sa, whereas we get a dragon on the side of Farmville winners.
That is Rohan on the top line. Pickle Farm number 12. Follow nicely here.
Oh.
It's going to be worse. Struggling to stay alive under
Ooh.
intense pressure from the assassin of Pickle Farmer 37. That will be all that happens.
I was not
Kill
expecting...
over, nothing more. 1-1 train.
Not expecting the Jinx Rocket to come on out there. I thought that Wussai was going to be able to outplay that one, but the Jinx Rocket's doing enough damage.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, Nautilus getting twisted.
We're still going here. I don't know if Lowen has the damage to win this fight.
Look out.
Tank certainly doesn't have the HP to survival of a TP in to try and salvage the situation, but Sajid's already found the kill. Now off the TP, this needs to be turned around by number 21 on the Syndra, and with a double kill it will be. Even trades at the end of the day. Down bottom, more utility burned by the Farmville winners from Natick High School.
Heroics coming out from number 21 as the TP ends up saving the Nautilus, winning the fight, turning it around, and Sajid was just deleted by that ultimate coming on out from the Syndra. That outplay button, the R button, obviously it's a very, very difficult ability to land on the Syndra, right?
I don't think you're allowed to be toxic in your
no,
high school cast. Come on,
I'm not being toxic. That was a good point for the Syndra.
You absolutely are.
All right, I might have a little bit of angst coming out because, you know, as a support, I hate facing Syndra. She just presses R on me and I die. It's not fun. So that might have came on through there. But I am happy that Syndra saved the support, and it was very good play from number 21.
I'm excited. So the reason I'm focusing in on this so much is because it is difficult for me to continue with just the numbers. So I've been doing my research. I'll hold this thought. The killer instinct does go in, and that'll be a easy kill on the Lowen.
I feel bad about the numbers, but I also really respect they committed to the team.
They committed to the bit.
Yeah.
That'll be a turret down bottom scooped up. It is Ethan behind Pickle Farmer 21, I wanted to point out, and that is very Ethan that said they wanted to be Sajid when they grew up. So
a sense of humor,
important, I guess.
Well,
getting to meet your idols.
I'd say
down Sajid in the bot lane.
Not only meeting your idols, but also just destroying your idols as well.
Murdering your idols.
Yeah.
They say don't eat your idols. I don't think there's any common accepted wisdom about obliterating them.
Exactly what ended up happening to the Rengar. There, though, the Rengar did obliterate the 80 carry of Farmville winners. Relia's trying to dance around
here. Yeah, Akumio, there's just no way they get out of this. They almost dropped number 37 down low enough. The turret would have been dangerous, but with the Rift Herald coming in, that threat is short-lived. Turret will be taken in the top side of the map by Natick High School as they try to press this advantage, Matthew.
Number 37 being Alex, the junior in the jungle, having a good showing on the Kayn as Jinx gets to have a good 80 carry experience here in the bottom lane.
Rowan living the very relatable life.
Yeah.
Meantime, we've got pressure up top here onto Natick High School. They may be losing twice across the map. They do get those turrets, but at the cost of both their AD carry and top laners' lives.
2 down. I must say, though, that it feels like the Gatekeepers are like trying to get their way back into this. I think Jinx being this far behind is going to be dangerous as the game goes on, but still feels like a close one that can go either way. This Kayn getting that much farm and XP behind them can become a very lethal carry and very difficult to deal with as the game moves on.
Players to watch as we head into the second phase of this are absolutely the Gatekeepers AD carry. That Kai'Sa, Steven's Kai'Sa, will be terrifying and needs to be the hard carry of this team. And the Jid themselves, like the Rengar, will be the two major damage threats. And it is on their shoulders that kind of the hopes of Shrewsbury are placed, because by default, I do think Natick outscaled them.
Also very impressed by Steven. The youngest player in this match is a sophomore. Having a heck of a performance here in the state championship on this Kai'Sa. And going to need to bear
He's got
quite a bit of the weight.
zoomer reflexes.
Yeah, and has to bear a lot of the weight as this game moves forward because with Kaisa being this far ahead.
How are you a sophomore and you know it's Farmville?
Well, Steven's not the one who was talking about
Oh,
Farmville.
yeah, you're right.
That's
Okay, wrong
yeah.
team.
No, the other
Case in
team
point.
though, they're 5 juniors, which is also very impressive.
Oh, Facebook. Is Farmville on Instagram? Because that's the same company, right? Can you play
It's the same. It's the same company, but you have to play it through like Facebook browser, I believe. I don't know if you can like even play it on the app, like it has its own mobile app.
It was
This
my
is web browser.
understanding, and maybe this is just the very hip and trendy part of America where I live. It should be a
Oh,
fairly clean
jeez.
maybe
Very
it's
clean.
the hip and trendy part of America where I live, but the youth don't really use Facebook.
No.
Farmer 12 will die to a similar little gang. Although, Death Realm does make this more complicated. Akubio flashes away and goes down regardless. Sajid will have to find the trade, but of course all of this means that there can't be a jungler up here at the Baron to contest. Sajid has no TP or anything like it. We'll have to run all the way across the map in any way to contest this Baron. A very heads-up play from Natick High School. They will farm themselves the Baron.
And Rohan buying that much time. Rengar can't be here.
Oh.
There's no smite. This Baron should go over to the Kane. Is able to secure it. Let's see if they can get anything from the fight.
Desperate to dance here. Kaisa from Wosai already into the back lines, not able to find the damage. And Sajid has been trying to avenge anything from the side of this. Will have TP in from base. That's going to be Akumio arriving with low HPs across the board, but nothing at all found for the players over on Shrewsbury. I may actually trade 1-for-1 here. This is going to be very dangerous. It's 2 picked up by Pickle Farmer 37.
Alex, he doesn't want to be Sajid. He just wants to put him back in that gray screen. Managed to pick up both people there. We talked about the fact that Kane might be a problem. Comes to fruition in that fight as the healing, the percent health damage that Kane is able to do in that red form, that Ross form, can be so difficult in an extended fight. Comes out there, and this is all of a sudden Farmville winners cracking the game open with this Baron.
Absolutely splitting it wide open. It's going to be a very, very dangerous future, I think.
Is there a Farmville thing that you like, split wide open and that's how you farm it?
Can of beans, baked beans.
That is true. The
Gotta
can opener has been taken
gotta
out.
open the can,
Yeah.
can opener. Said it's our baked bean state. I'm so excited to learn that there's a baked bean state. I don't know if you can notice this. I swear I'm not.
Oh my
I'm not like being sarcastic here. This is just delightful for me.
Oh, this is why we enjoy casting with each other so much. We get to make fun jokes like this. Mordekaiser, though, he's in trouble.
Gonna get dropped. Akumio did survive that, which was stunning.
Nice.
And what a good Zenith played over the wall from the Loud One. That very well should guarantee this kill, but it's going to get messy. As always, number 37 on that bet, Kane, can devastate this fight, and they do! That's going to be 2 more kills, a consecutive double, with the aid of Pickle Farmer, 99 on the Nautilus. Rice is the Drake, I believe, is poised to come up. This could be devastating.
Number 37 is just too much to deal with, too lethal. That number is too dangerous, as Kane has now picked up another item, that Ravenous Hydra coming on through.
Where do you think the numbers came from? Do you think they were just rolling some D20, or...?
Well, you can't get 21 or 37 from a D20. I'm going to go with...
Well, if you roll enough D20, you can.
If I was really committing to this bit, I would let my friends pick it, or I would slam my face on the keyboard and see what happens. And that's the number I get. Either way, they'd be a terrifying team.
Write to us on Twitter. Tell us more.
Please.
Natick High School players. Write to us on Twitter or something.
I just want to say this would
tell
be
me where I can
terrifying Clash team to find. Like, if I'm playing Clash and I go up against these guys and I just see Pickle Farmer 12, Pickle Farmer 37, like, that just strikes fear and terror into my heart.
You don't quite have the clubs anymore. It used to be if you were playing Clash and you ran into a team that were all club tagged up, you knew you were in for a rough time. But if you run into a team that's all named the same,
it's not going to be a good time. As meanwhile, we do have Dragon spawning, another fight breaking out. I'm curious to see if the Gatekeepers do take this. They are behind. They don't have river control, and it seems like Farmville Winners want to farm up this dragon.
Shrewsbury are going to contest. That's going to be a dive from Sajid, and they are obliterated. A good petrifying gaze. Oh, 3 people caught in it as the Stolar Flare goes down on top. Shrewsbury might be able to contest this still.
Isa?
Damage into the back line. A double kill from Wosai. It's going to get bigger. A triple kill, but the Mordekaiser of Pickle Farmer 12 is still so big. We'll see if this can be turned. It's going to be a desperate attempt. Number 21 coming in this side with the damage necessary to stall this out, save the life of number 12 on the Mordekaiser. And despite a devastating CC combo, the fight and the Infernal Drake will go over to Farmville Winners from Natick High School.
That was looking so promising for the Gatekeepers. I know that Rengar went down first, but it was the beautiful Cassiopeia ultimate into the Solar Flare by the Loud One, and that CC chain almost bought enough time for Wosai on the Kaisa to clean up the fight. Played that fight really well. Kaisa was doing her damnedest to try and bring home the gold in that one, but just not enough. The gold leads too much. Fight Dragon end up going over to the Farmville Winners, but I love the resilience we're seeing out of the Gatekeepers here. They did not want to give up anything for free, and these fights are very close, DJ.
That was the most perfect combo you could have dreamt up.
Yes.
Petrifying Gaze right with the Solar Flare immediately behind it, and the Kaisa just throwing in damage the entire time. Was almost enough to save it. As is, it will be a lot of gold over to their carries, so if you're a Shrewsbury fan, you hope that that will enable future fights.
And we're going to have to see, as we kind of take a deep breath in this one. We don't have any major monster objectives on the map yet. We do have Baron spawning. Kaisa can shred Baron very quickly, but it seems that they don't have the map control to do it quite yet, and the lead is still in the hands of the Farmville Winners. They've got more crops ready to take on down. I think that's where we're at.
Oh, jungle battle. Sajid knocked up. Oh, he's just been outplayed. There's no way Sajid comes out on top here. Oh, flash over the wall! And his teammates are there. The power of friendship may yet prevail. Pickle Farmer 21 is rotating in as well, though. And this could be yet another defeat, actually, for the Shrewsbury Gatekeepers, as it's a double kill picked up from the backline. This Syndra doing so much work, and a well-timed stopwatch, again saving the day for the Mordekaiser, piloted by Pickle Farmer 12. That will be a devastating triple, handed over to the Syndra of the Natick High School. Farmville Winners.
They aren't even going for that bot lane turret. They're just going straight mid. Aurelia is going to have to possibly make a play. I don't think this is the game, but this is the game cracked wide open by Farmville Winners. This inhibitor flowing, going to be map pressure for them permanently, and really open up the Baron as an option.
Yeah, Baron is up, and I'm going to disagree with you. I think this very well is the game, provided there are no spectacular errors.
I love this.
The Farmville Winners have so much map control. They can do anything from here. This is an interesting idea. The reason this attempt here is, of course, they're going to fake going to the Baron, and then Shrewsbury are going to walk up and they're going to be able to find a free kill. The reason that isn't working, the reason that hasn't worked, is because Shrewsbury have very good vision set up around the Baron, so they knew that nobody was on it. Now, of course, as the Baron is properly taken, as we start this, Shrewsbury will see their wards disappearing and begin to clear their way out.
Well, it doesn't work, but I love the idea coming on through. As still, we see the Farmville Winners. I agree with you. They're very much in control. It's not game yet. I don't want to call it game yet. Kaisa can still do a lot of work. She has that Infinity Edge, so the 60% crit is coming through, which means that you have that super buffed up damage. And Jinx is still very far behind. So if Wosai can potentially do something crazy in these fights, that's the option. But right now, I think we've really seen it the entire game, TJ. This Kayn, way too much for the side of the Gatekeepers to handle.
Fun information here. The Loud One is piloted by Raul. He's very proud of the fact he wrote in his document that he helped win play versus full 2019 and 2020. So this would be a break in the pattern should Shrewsbury be dropped here. An unexpected defeat for Raul himself, playing that Leona.
This is a best of 3, but game 1 is definitely in the hands of Farmville Winners right now. It is theirs to win as they have the map control. I feel like they're waiting for this dragon because it is Soul Point. With the craziness of this game, TJ, we haven't necessarily discreetly touched on that. It is spawning in less than a minute. And I do like this play and the patience coming out from Farmville winners. If they obtain that Infernal Soul, they do even more damage. The Jinx and Cinder will really be even bigger problems in this game. So I like the fact that they're showing a little bit of restraint and making sure that this is the safest path to victory. We're going to take this.
The star player of this game for me so far, definitely Pickle Farmer 37 now.
I feel like there's going to be like a moment of suspense where you're just going to say, definitely been Pickle Farmer.
I should have said Pickle Farmer and then paused there.
Yep.
My natural dramatic instincts had me paused after star player of this game so far. Pause, give it a beat, then you come in with the player name. But I should have waited until I'd said Pickle Farmer and then just held it.
It's going to be like the Mario Party unveil of who actually wins, but I love the play coming in here from Farmville winners. We talked about that dragon. They obviously wanted it for Soul Point, but they say, give us the Baron. We're going to end the game in the next 3 minutes. We're okay if you take that dragon. We just want the buffed up minion. So they're going to really be looking to push the pressure here, take down another inhibitor, and try and choke out the rest of the map for the Gatekeepers.
As you say, you take that Baron, you start the clock. 3 minutes, during which, of course, the empowered minions and increased damage will be over to the Farmville winners as Natick try to wrap up game number 1 here over a Massachusetts State Championship.
Good overall performance coming out from them in this game 1, but obviously, oh boy.
Good pull there. The dash grab doesn't complete the kill though. And now Akumio may survive yet. Turret will pull, but the solar flare's down. Maybe a turn in this fight as the depth charge puts an end to all that. Loud one. Akumio and Jumper all fall. And this is going to get worse yet as a double kill is handed over to Lowen. Sajid goes down. And our carry, our hook for this game, Wosai is running for their life. It is going to be game. A devastating final team fight and a strong Game 1 victory over to Natick High School as they will pick up the win.
Statement win coming out from Farmville winners. That last fight, Kaisa just wasn't able to get involved. Any hopes of winning that game fell onto Wosai, but hey, good engage coming out from the Mordekaiser, utilizing that Death Realm, getting kill on Cassiopeia, snowballing it from there. And TJ, I have to say, it was a very competitive and exciting Game 1.
Yeah, we talk a lot about how excited we are about the next crop of players currently making their way into the collegiate and amateur system. Every time I watch Play Versus, every time I watch their high school league, I'm super excited. The amount of cross-map presence there was from both teams, the amount of understanding of how to push and pull the enemy team around the map is stuff we don't always see in amateur, and we definitely don't see in collegiate very often. So I am very excited to see what these players are going to bring as their careers continue.
Yeah, a lot more kills in these games. Still a little bit of sloppiness, but overall, we've been able to cast quite a few. Yeah, we've casted quite a few.
He can't just give credit. He's like, well, you know, you could.
Oh, I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. We've been able to cast a lot of these state championships so far, TJ, and I have to say this is one of the stronger ones that we've seen just based off that Game 1. Both these teams coming in here, seems like we have a close match in our hands, but gonna have to see if the Farmville winners end up closing out Game 2, or if the Gatekeepers have something to say. Their hopes and dreams of continuing their dynasty here in Massachusetts fall on this upcoming game. Stay tuned with us as we're going to have a short break, but Game 2 coming up soon.
Welcome back to the Play versus Full High School Championship. My name's still TJ, still joined by Matthew Cubby Samuelson. I don't know why I've been saying Matthew today. I'm feeling formal.
Maybe it's just because I'm not Matt Iberia Quindaniel. Just want to, keep things different between your rotating Matts. Yeah.
Good.
Or maybe you just don't want Matt Square to truly take effect, because it did the other day.
Are you all right with Matthew, or do I need to change it up?
I'm fine with whatever. You can call me whatever you want, TJ.
All right, whatever you want. We're going to head into the draft for game number 2 of this series here, and I am super excited.
I really walked into that one, didn't I?
You did rather set me up.
Yeah.
We saw an incredible game 1 between Shrewsbury and Natick High School, and now in the state championship. Where am I?
Yeah. Well, you got to check your green screen. No Massachusetts back there?
Oh.
Still in Massachusetts.
That's really... Hang on.
That's really mysterious. As we dive into the draft, get some of the bands. Oh, look at that. You even timed it with the snap. You're so fancy.
As we continue with our state championship here, we did see a very, very good game 1.
Yes.
I think we both said this Massachusetts State Championship was an incredibly good, as far as high school and collegiate go, this was an incredibly good match.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're looking at teams, overall, these guys are mid-plat average, which for a high school team is a pretty high rank coming on through. And I think that both teams kind of showed that they're not only evenly matched, but they have some skilled players on each side. So I have to say game 1 left us feeling pretty good, pretty impressed. And as we look into picks and bans, TJ, I see a Kane on the ban list from the Farmville winners. And that surprises me. It feels like they really don't want to face Kane, and Alex puts a really high priority on it.
You're darn right about that.
Yeah.
And Sajid, based on their play last game, I think it's a very reasonable decision to make. Let's talk picks now. We'll kick things off with the Galio. That could be either mid or support. I'm a big fan of Galio this season because they're a very good counter to the assassins that are so prevalent.
Man, we've been double flexing Galio and Seraphine a bunch of places, and I'm so happy that you brought up the Galio flex into support, because he can't play that role, and he's pretty good because a lot of people are diving in right now. But TJ, my eyes, they go over Kazakhs for Sajid, a highlight player for this team. Rengar didn't work out, so just going to go with the other side of the hunt. Take Kazakhs this time.
The picks don't stop. We get Kazakhs and Kaiser locked in for Shrewsbury. On the opposite side, Natick grab themselves a Mordekaiser, yet another Syndra, and I'm not sure where that final pick is going to go.
I think Silas is jungling here for Alex, which he has one good ultimate to take in the Galio, which feels really good. We're going to have to see if there are any more coming on through. I am curious, though, to see how the rest of this one pans out, because obviously that is a pick that, for us, is the Silas jungle. It's risky, scales very well, but it has a tough early game.
You know what I saw recently, and this is not a recommendation because it lost, but in collegiate I saw a Silas support.
Oh.
And that's why I'm so excited about Play versus a league where I can see that the future of collegiate is bright, simply by viewing the High School League of Legends.
Simply by not
don't
picking
mess
Silas
this
support.
up for me. Silas will not be played support.
Oh, man. That's rough. I don't know how you get Silas support in a collegiate draft. A lot of those teams have
apparently
challenger players on it. That's a questionable one. I'm gonna leave some question mark pings on that one. No question mark pings though so far for this draft. TJ,
I got Rel.
It's your favorite.
This is my first experience watching the new champion Rel.
Same here.
A character that has been genuinely delightful for me to play. I am so psyched. That does, of course, mean the Galio is going to be shuffled over to the mid lane, so you win some, you lose some, and the Volibear will be passed up to complete this draft in the top lane. On the opposite side, that is indeed the Silas in the jungle, Jinx and Nautilus. That's the bot line.
The Jinx Nautilus seems like some comfort coming out for Farmville winners. It was a part of their win in the last one.
I got Rel.
Yeah, I know. You got Rel. I'm going to let you take a lot of the conversation because I'm going to be honest. The last tournament we played in, Rel was still disabled. So I haven't seen a lot of Rel yet. And I know that you have been playing a ton of her.
Let's head into the game.
Okay.
And I will talk about my thoughts on Rel.
Okay.
Rel, I think, is very comparable to the place that somebody like Alistair was last patch, where Alistair wasn't really a lane bully, didn't do great inside lane unless you made a mistake that played into their kit, but Alistair scaled into the late game really well and became a really solid team fighting champion if you lasted to that point, and if you were building your team around team fighting, Rel was perfect for that, right? Or sorry, Alistair was perfect for that. I think that's pretty much the same case with Rel. Don't look for Loud One to be blowing the lane open. Don't look for Loud One to be punishing mistakes unless they are egregious. Rel has only one engage in lane, and it's rather short-ranged, and once she uses it, she can't get out easily. But if we get to late game, Rel likes to go all in with the Pharomancy, which is her little jump engage, drop the Pharomancy in the middle of the fight, then ult with Magnet Storm and just mass CC entire teams, yanking them around, which is game-winning amounts of CC. And let's talk about the combos, because you can line up that Pharomancy Magnet Storm combo with the Galio ultimate. You can line that up with the Kha'Zix finding pickoff for people who didn't get pulled in by that combo. You can line that up with the Volibear going in, or of course the Kaiser just nailing in damage on those CC targets. It is a beautiful late game team fight. The only question to me is if Shrewsbury gets there with that team fight intact. If they get bullied out of that team fight during the laning phase, it could still all go wrong.
Very curious to see how that one plays out. No, I appreciate.
It was just like there was a lot of energy. I'm psyched about Rel.
I am excited to see this too. I actually like a lot of the potential that Rel has around the attract and repel, right? The tether coming in with champions that like to jump in, like a Kha'Zix, like a Galio, like a Volibear. So curious to see if the side of the gatekeepers are going to be able to sync up, pull off some of those sit combos that you have mentioned, TJ. Because if they do, we saw Wosai's Kaisa. We were very impressed with it.
You're going to see our first demonstration of what Rel can do in lane there. That was a safe engage, but it is something to watch. If you see the Pharomancy, which is of course that transition from the mounted form into the walking form, she does not have any mobility for a solid couple of seconds afterward. A good player dealing with a Rel. Second you see that Pharomancy crash down, you just dump your CC and then you ignore her. She can't do anything.
We've talked a lot about Rel and this bottom line. I think that we should hit on a couple of the...
No!
Okay, okay, never mind. Back to Rel. No, but
Sorry,
the familiar faces that we see over on the side of Farmville winners. Yeah, it's the same exact comp minus one champion.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Kumio
he's
maybe
gifting
in trouble.
He's gifting
now
it
this
to his
Volibear being handed over.
That's...
It'll be a successful pick over to the Silas we were talking up about. You said you thought this was a high-risk jungle champion, but could work out if you did get him ahead.
It is risky in the early game, as it's not a very strong early game jungler. That said, that still being gifted over, you gotta imagine that can only help the Silas move on forward. And after the first couple clears, does get very strong in the jungle.
I think some of the problem here with Mel, she does not have anything to do after the engage. So you need to either have enough damage to clean up the fight should it develop, or I'm going to hold this forward. The Pickle Farmer flashes over the wall. Number 12 on the Mordekaiser staying safe. Akumio will go down. And meantime, it is mutually assured destruction in the bottom lane as everyone dies. The AD carries get both kills on each other and their opposition. So at the end of the day, it's... I guess net everything. Nobody gets an advantage.
Hey, nothing like handshaking the gray screen, right? Might as well go down together. As both teams showing some friendship on the Rift as well. This is concerning though. If you are the gatekeepers, right? 2-4, you are staring down the barrel of getting 2-0'd in the state championship. Keep in mind, these guys have won since 2018 fall, and it really feels like they've met their match on the red side, because this is yet another outstanding early game. And TJ, my eyes, once again, they go over to Alex, number 37, doing so well on this pick I called risky. I want to take that back. He's making it look real good, real consistent with his performance so far in this one.
Both of those kills have been onto Akumio. So I would say don't worry too much on the Shrewsbury side unless this lead in the top lane gets worse. It very well could, but if Volibear is not completely out of the game, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world for their team comp. He will still be tanky enough in the late game to be fine. But I do think it is important that more gold doesn't get past to number 37, because if number 37 on the Silas gets out ahead, that's going to start applying to other lanes as well. That's going to start getting dangerous for jump for it.
DJ, my head's still going over to like why they picked the numbers they did. So it's a very intriguing question that you asked in the last game. Do we know like what a number 12 meal is at a couple of fast food restaurants? Maybe that's what we're going for, because I've never eaten bear before. As someone that IGN is named Cubby,
Ooh.
I very much do not appreciate people that eat bear.
Make you hold this fort because their top lane battle has just gotten
tower.
very dicey again. What a good death grasp there. Just shoving Akumio underneath the tower and winning what was a losing trade.
Yeah, just shoveled himself a Big Mac right there as he's able to find that one.
Very good tie.
Under the turret. Man, I can see why they're blind picking this Mordekaiser, right? Taking it so early in the draft, because it feels like number 12 is very comfortable as champion, and we've seen 2 different matchups now that he has done very well in the top side.
They're going to try and jump down
Death
now.
Realm.
There's the Jeed into the Death Realm, as you say. Right for Kha'Zix, it is still the isolated 1v1, which benefits the Kha'Zix's stats, so this fight should be winnable. Sajid is taking their time. We'll wait for number 12 to leave the bush, flash in, and complete the kill.
So you mentioned it, DJ. The Death Realm, it does make Mordekaiser isolated. But it might have actually been better if he didn't click hard there. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, don't use your ultimate, but he might have been able to walk out. That said, not going to be the case. The Jeed. Someone that we really hyped up coming into this point because he's the highest ranked player in this match and a very impressive solo queue rank at Diamond 2. Getting on the board on this Kha'Zix, and the G's last hope, it might just be the great hope that Gatekeepers needs, as Akumio not having a good time once again.
Yeah, Akumio goes aggressive down bottom, reducing the flash down, engage full stun cycle, and of course Kaisa is one of those champions that benefits the most from the lengthy stun cycle that Rel can offer, dumping in multiple different combos with the Halo Blades. Of course, full stack of mark. Nautilus
was burning, but able to get under that subterranean exoskeleton fast enough to avoid that ignite damage coming on through.
Subterranean exoskeleton?
Yeah, that's what I called it. Is that wrong?
You called what?
I don't know. Nautilus's big suit. He's got a big suit. That's the champion.
Okay, subaquatic?
Did I say subterranean?
Yeah.
That's close enough.
It's not a mole.
That's true. That would also help, though, get rid of ignite damage. At least I have burrow.
Not as much as water, though, weirdly enough. Okay, we'll be brawling yet again in the top lane and pop the ultimate this time. Pickle Farmer number 12 still as his number.
Kumio's straight up not having a good time up here. 0-4.
No!
Pickle Farmer 12. He is having a good time.
Got a Kumio on speed dial.
Yeah. He's been calling that number quite a bit on the top side. I am happy to see Akumio going for early Merc Treads, early boots. Does give him some resistances and movement across the map. Because one way you can still help out your team is by trying to get out of that lane. Because I don't think he's going to have a lot of success in there, as this could be a bait.
It is very much a bait.
Yep.
The full stun cycle is there, and the loud one will win that fight any day of the week. Especially with the backup there from Sajid. Keep our eye on number 37. This Silas is ready to push over the wall. Thank you. That is going to be a jungler missing a flash, which is worth mentioning. In the meantime, what a good attempt to get away with the flash over the wall. There's the benefit of the remount. That has a little throwback, very similar to how Urgot works on his E. You get that when you remount for a few seconds after you remount as well. And it was very well timed. They very nearly brought number 21 into danger. They had to flash away.
DJ, my eyes this game, last game, they were on Alex, who was still performing very well. That said, I think Sajid is having a much better look in this one. He is up 2 levels in the jungle. Feels like all the plays were happening off of his back on this Kha'Zix. And Akumio, thanks to those Merc Treads and resistance, seems to be able to hold their own in the top side. So I really think we have to keep our eyes out for Sajid. This game, it's going to be on the Kha'Zix's back.
I am going to utter the forbidden text.
I
think Akumio is really overplaying their hand time and time again here. Will not be able to confirm the kill. Sajid is doing so much damage.
Okay, so Kha'Zix, you do have the choice to evolve a normal ability when you do rank up that ultimate. He has chosen the claws, so that isolation damage going to be even bigger, which obviously you saw that there on the side was pretty severe, but also really helps with neutral monster objectives. He's looking at the Rift Herald taking Shelly for himself right now. It could be very important moving forward when taking down these turrets, getting some points and getting some more gold into the pockets of his team, because right now it is a very close game when you look at the scoreboard.
I want to once again mention how good this late game team fight is for Shrewsbury. Once they evolve into 5v5s, I think you need to start worrying for Natick. So far, they haven't had to fight a full 5v5. It's been a lot of these smaller skirmishes, which have by and large broken their way, but you can see every time we start to see players group up, every time we start to see Shrewsbury put together 3v3s, Natick very rightly back away from them.
The good thing for Farmville winners when it comes to these big fights is going to be the fact that Syndra can help disengage quite a bit with the Scatter of the Week. And I think a lot of it is going to fall onto the shoulders of number 21 to make sure that that ability is used to get the Galio out, to get the Kha'Zix out. And that disengage is actually really powerful for Jinx. So it's not gloom and doom for Farmville winners.
There's no flash.
There is no flash.
Oh, he had to Pharomancy over the wall. Loud One had to Pharomancy out of the pit there, which means the major source of engage isn't going to be available for the gatekeepers there.
Oh, they're going for it. TP coming in from Boulder Bear from the top lane. We're going to have a fight, TJ.
TP in. Early Unleashed power goes wide. 99 will hook into the bottom side of this fight and not find much. It's going to be an ultimate chip for the Polar Bear. There's the magnet storm. Huge CC deployed at the top side of the fight with Bill B. The gatekeepers can focus in on the isolation players down bottom. Sajid inside the death realm will lose out to number 12, who stays alive but is shut down immediately afterward. It's going to be jump forward with the kill. Double taunt as well. Low side backing away, calling this fight over. And as they resolve, Farmville winners to win out on that fight. Positioning-wise, kill-wise, it is a 2 for 2, nothing more.
Dragon will be going over to the side of Farmville winners, most likely, though, considering the fact that Kha'Zix is off the map. Silas can be first to this objective. I think it's so important. Number 99, right? Casting that ultimate onto Kha'Zix, right? That depth charge, making sure that Sajid can't wreak havoc in the backline and fighting in that choke. You could see the peel that Syndra and Jinx can have in that choke. The fact they were able to not fall victim to the Galio ultimate coming on through. I think that bought them the time necessary they needed to turn that fight around, get an even fight, win out in the health bar to take that objective.
Maybe this is a hot take. I think Shrewsbury win that fight if they stay in it. I think if Wosai, because Wosai kind of called the cancel there. You could see it. Wosai was backing away, both jump forward and Loud One was kind of going in. And I'm always a risk taker. But I do think...
I have played with TJ's Galio and can confirm. He is a risk taker and likes to stay in fights.
I think Hail of Blades kind of... Kumio in trouble again. A block more result is going away. We'll see how far this goes. Sajid is here, of course, not getting the isolation damage from these close range fights. Does stay ahead of the damage from Syndra, though. Oh, and very narrowly does pick up armor 12 for 5. A deep dive in will guarantee the kill with no HP remaining on any of the Farmville winners who participated up top now.
TJ, this is a high school team using teleports aggressively to execute a dive. The Silas ult, taking Voldabear's ultimate and canceling out or disabling the turret for a couple shots as well. And these are really good team plays coming out from Farmville winners, and they're starting to take control of the map because they are making so many good plays as a squad. I'm
hearing the adoration from you.
Yeah, it was a great play.
The adorable noises as well, as you're just seeing plays that I'm sure you've been begging your leaders to execute. Oh, what a good magnet storm. Off the Pharomancy, crashed down. See what more comes of it. Wosai nailing in the damage will confirm at least one kill off that engage. You're going to have the stun from the attract repel as well as the deep dive. That's the loud one, almost confirming the solo kill, but Rel just has no damage.
Ooh.
Will be picked off. Oh, number 12, a double kill off the TP arrival. Sajid comes in, assassinating a Kai'Sa, or sorry, a Syndra on the rotate. And it may get worse. Sajid gets 2, as the miscommunication actually made that Sajid a triple kill here with the Rift Herald coming in. Sajid needs to get out of here. Number 37 will take the lead. It's still a 1v1. You're still getting the isolation bonus. But 37 has stolen away the ultimate and will deploy it to get the kill.
Another good team play coming out from Farmville Winners, right? Their bot lane, they fall under siege. The Mordekaiser teleport comes on through and is able to turn that one around. Also, Alex, number 37, in the right spot at the right time. More good team plays coming on through means more of a lead into their pockets. And TJ, it might just be the same story of the last game, ran back a second time. Wosai might be the great hope, right? Might not be Sajid's last hope, but this Kai'Sa is going to need to step up and put out the damage in this game if the Gatekeepers want to take another state championship, because that is the Fed member once again on the Gatekeepers.
We didn't see the limitations during that fight. Sorry, I'm just enjoying this as an opportunity to talk about Rel. We did see the limitations. Rel does no damage.
That's a lot
so
of CC,
you can't play Rel like Leona, where if you spot somebody low, you can find the kill. Rel just doesn't do that.
Leona is still busted, and I don't think a lot of champions should be able to do what Leona does. So I am happy to hear that, but I think Rel is showing up pretty well in this game, and being piloted rather nicely by the Loud One. And a lot of the strengths of her kit we're seeing, right? All the CC coming on through, the ability to really force plays. I think it's kind of shown nicely in this one.
Yeah, it's worth noting, not to go too far down the Rel main train. It's worth noting the build here. It's going to be Dead Man's Flight next time, which works very well for Rel because she shares armor stats with the player she's linked to. So Dead Man's is a fantastic item. It also gives more mobility, which for a character that's pretty slow and lacking in engage is very important. We'll see where we go after that. I assume we'll lock it. Pickle Farmer will be called out here by Sajid. Very well played.
You see the power of the isolated damage coming on through on Sajid, who did elect to evolve the wing second, so longer jumps. Here we go. Here's the dive.
Magnet Storm. There's no escape. Even the Gale Force doesn't get low and out of range of that CC. It will be a beautiful series of kills down there in the bottom lane, but in the meantime, this Rift Herald has been summoned here in mid. Natick are shoving this game home. They have spotted a weakness in the Shrewsbury formation, and they are going to use it to take maybe 2 turrets here. Kumio tries to turn things around, will be backed up here by the heroic entrance. Pickle Farmer, number 12, drops them into the depth now. In the meantime, you have an isolation bonus here in the mid lane, as Wosai comes in alongside the Loud One to do big damage to Farmer number 37 from the jungle. Silas, there's a lot of life steal, but it cannot keep pace with the Tyson damage. Wosai themselves burned low. Will be kept alive. Loud One on no HP also stays ahead of number 99, and everyone may get away here, which is outstanding. Now with the Paramancy, they're shielding for the Loud One. They'll stay alive at the front of this. Number 12 goes into stasis, and they will be executed immediately on the other side of it. A wonderfully played team fight for Shrewsbury as they completely wipe Natick in the mid lane.
The Gatekeepers get exactly what they were looking for. If they are able to find members isolated, you can see all the damage that Sajid is laying down. The picks they were able to find, making sure they have the member advantage come up big, as that opens up things for Wosai to really have a good fight on this Kai'Sa, now sitting at 9-2, even more gold into her pockets on this champion. Kai'Sa, man, this Kai'Sa might be able to carry through this game. This might be the one game that we see. We didn't see it in the last one, but 9-2 on the Kai'Sa, already sitting at 2 items, that Infinity Edge coming through next. Could be the power that the Gatekeepers need to push this one to a game 3.
Remember when, at the very beginning of this game, I said Shrewsbury's team fight, should we get there, is devastating? Case in point. There are 2.5 full supports here, right?
Right.
Jump Forward isn't building for AP. They're going to be building a tankier builder with the Sunfire Aegis first item. You're also seeing of course, the full tank build from the Loud One, who has now completed their Deadmans. So there are two basically full CC tanks there to protect Woesai. And then Akumio, depending on how this top lane breaks, probably going to drift towards it. As he TP's in to bail out Akumio here. Stasis drop for Farmer 37 as 21 comes in. Oh, and that could get bad for Akumio. Eats the full ultimate, still flashes in, stunned, lightning storm, not the kill, 37 stays alive. It'll have to be jump forward to confirm the kill, and the mid lane Rowan's in trouble. Will Gale forced away. Sajid not able to confirm the kill for a second, but Akumio, having fallen in top, will be in even trade. It's the double kill that makes the difference. Sajid carrying hard towards mid. The Loud One will be caught out here, dropped into Death Realm, I believe. No, those Death Realm Sajid.
He might have enough damage in this one. Sajid does have isolation damage. Oh, no.
No, not at all. Sajid stays alive, and now 12 is dropped out the other side. Death Realming the Kazakhs doesn't feel good.
Farmville winners, they were off to such a good start in this game, and as things have gotten more and more hectic, it has opened up more room for Sajid to make things happen. And it feels like they're just picking Farmville winners apart. This Kazakhs, this bug is pestering the side. He's difficult to deal with. Sajid coming up big in this game, and exactly what they needed, TJ. As we've talked about it, state championship, they're down one game. This is do or die time. Gatekeepers utilizing that experience, coming up clutch so far in this one.
If I named the Massachusetts State Championship, like how the NFL has different bowls, right? It would be the Baked Bean Bowl.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna come up with a baked bean brand for that one, but I'm here for it. This is the Baked Bean Bowl, and
you have to pay.
Also, the trophy definitely has baked beans in it, and you have to eat them afterwards for the camera.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
And it's just one of those big cups. It's one of those big trophy cups.
Absolutely.
In the middle, there's baked beans. Shout out to Massachusetts, the baked bean state. Oh, full engaged Magnet Storm already. And you can just see the power of the CC. Magnet Storm will be stolen away, but it will not save our poor jungle Silas from the damage that Woesai has behind the full CC that Loud One can offer. It is a truly terrifying combo.
And a tale of two games here for number 37, right? So dominant on the Kane last game, was the highlight member we were talking about. This Silas, it got off to a decent start, but is really being outshined by Sajid on the other side, a player that we highlighted going into this one as this rel TJ going into deep.
A little bit too deep, if you ask me, but Loud One will survive thanks to the aid of the heroic entrance from Jump for it.
I feel like it's an appropriate name for a Galio player. Jump for it. He jumps.
Jump for it?
Yeah.
You know, Galio just feels fun to fight. Galio abilities are just fun to cast.
I just like playing Galio because I'm not a good mid laner anymore, and when I play Galio mid, I don't have to play mid because I just push the wave and roam. And it's awesome.
You just play stacking support.
Yeah, I just play, I'm going to dive your bot lane a lot.
My lord. The single target damage this team has is incredible. He may have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, but he's got the teammates to back him up. Loud One will come in. Scare away. Armor 37.
I don't know why Alex is like poking his nose in there. I'd be sprinting away. Hey, that's scary Kazakhs.
I don't know why Akumio thought this was going to go well. Hasn't any of the other times. With the turret, they may get an even trade. And they, oh, what a well-timed stopwatch. Oh, not get an even trade. Pickle Farmer 12 times the flash beautifully and stays alive in the top lane. 1 kill to nothing.
Mordekaiser had us do TJ. I guess number 12, just more calculated than me. Gets, what do you call that, like drive-through food from the Boulder Bear if you're like getting hit by the tower? I don't know.
He had to wait.
Yeah, he had to wait. It was a severe wait. He even had to run away.
He had to go into the restaurant. He was doing takeaway. He had to go into the restaurant, wait for them to make it, and then walk away, bring it home.
I miss those days, going into restaurants.
You can still get takeaway.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You know, takeaway place. And you know what? If you do takeaway from the restaurant as opposed to ordering via an app, the restaurant gets more of your money. So
this is true.
Support your local business.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to do a lot of that in these times, but getting back to this game, DJ, I think it's important to note the Mountain Dragon are actually significant as individual dragons in this one, which I know.
The Death Grasp.
What?
Used there to just completely deny the engage from the Loud One. He tried to crash down, and the Death Grasp just shoved him away. 12 is so good at using those.
There's a reason they keep on early picking Mordekaiser. I think it speaks for itself as a champion, but these two mountain dragons. These two mountain dragons, right? The extra resistances going over to Kaisa and Kha'Zix against a team that wants to burst you down, like Syndra, Jinx.
Remember,
very significant.
Any armor given to Rel duplicates and gets passed to whoever the Rel is bound to.
Yes.
So mountain drakes are extra good.
Even more beefiness. Never a bad thing.
We did talk about the Rel build earlier. I'd like to report that we're maybe headed toward Force of Nature item, which would be wild. It would be fun, because Rel with move speed is great, and Rel really lacks move speed. And I'm going to keep an eye on that, because normally you think of Locket as a go-to.
Speaking of go-tos, I'll take Purple Tooth on my team. That's pretty cool.
Aaron scooped up. Sajid will be chasing down.
Is he invisible as Siwitz? Did you see that? I think his model was invisible minus the chains when he used that Boulder ult.
It looked a little funky, but
I'm here for
it may also have been a spectator glitch. So.
Yeah, possibly. But I like it. You know, you're just a storm cloud with like 2 chains walking around. That's pretty cool.
Dropping a new album soon.
Maybe a new skin. Who knows? Yeah. Invisible champs in League. They already have it in like other games, you know.
I think giving Riot more ideas is bad.
Coming from someone so hyped up about the new champion with new mechanics.
You know, I do genuinely like Rel, and the main reason for it is because she has the normal amount of abilities.
You like Seraphine too.
You're right, I do like Seraphine. But she also has the normal amount of abilities.
That's true. There's nothing new there. In fact, I think that there is a big discussion around nothing new being there.
Seraphine, Aphelios, and Samira. Maybe it's just 80 carries. Maybe that's the problem.
A true support main.
Yeah, maybe when they make 80 carries, things go wrong. Blaming 80 carries is, as you say, on brand for support. Nobody's going to be blaming the 80 carries in this game, though. Osai absolutely dominating. 11 kills in their pocket.
Have to say, there's been a good defense of the Baron so far. I don't think anything significant has fallen, and it feels like the Gatekeepers are happy with just settling for taking this dragon, which I'm curious to see if Farmville winners want to try and contest. My eyes are really going to be on number 21. Can the Syndra land a good scatter of the week? Is that the peel necessary for Syndra and Jinx to try and do some damage throughout the fight? And then also number 12, because Mordekaiser's been a beast, man, both these games.
37. For away and isolated immediately. The deed will dive in, and you have the bonus stun there from the Attract Repel. I don't even think it was necessary, but it did certainly guarantee the kill. That is going to be Natick High School. Now down their jungler, right as the Drake comes up.
Any hope of contest of that dragon just goes right off the window when your jungler goes down. No smite, no contest. Dungeons was up for Silas. I don't think it would have mattered. Might have bought some more time for the team. And TJ, with this game snowballing further and further out of control, Kaisa having all the gold on the side of Gatekeepers, it feels like I want to see a play like coming out from them, because it feels like they're so far ahead. I feel like if they take a fight, they wipe it right now.
It does rather feel like the Gatekeepers are unclear exactly how far ahead they are.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can get anything from it. They did successfully secure Soul Point here with the third Mountain Drake. They're one away from the Soul. They will, of course, be playing relatively safe because there's no harm in doing so. I think it's important. We oftentimes criticize teams for doing the opposite. So I think it's important to celebrate the fact that Shrewsbury don't lose anything by going late with their team comp. So if you're not clear exactly where you're at in terms of what the opponents have to bring to bear, I think it's reasonable to play slow and steady when you know that the later you go, the better you are.
With so much on the line, obviously these high school players taking home a state championship. That's pretty sweet. Walking it
We're
slow.
going Chem Tank for Loud One.
Are you a fan?
I mean,
I feel
the
like Locket
character's
is so strong.
Yeah, the character's so new, the abilities or the items are still relatively new. I don't want to rule anything out. In general, I think Locket is... I think Locket and Imperial Mandate are the best items to build on support. I feel like
you can go Imperial... Oh, I thought you meant Imperial Mandate on Rel. I was like, whoa.
Imperial Mandate on
some
Rel,
dark
I don't
tech.
think would be great.
Yeah, some dark technology coming through. That's something you'd be into.
She doesn't really do any damage. She does scale AP though, so maybe I'm missing a trick. But anyway, I'm not really a giant fan of top lane items on supports this season. I don't think it really works.
I feel like Locket kind of puts the game even further out of reach too for Farmville winners, right? That burst damage makes sure that Jinx doesn't get excited and get the resets coming on in. Something that could be very important for the side of the Gatekeepers as they're trying to wrap this one up. Yeah, I was gonna say something about Akumio. I was doing an impression of how many kills are in Akumio's column. But in fairness,
good.
He was camped really hard.
I get it.
Yeah. In fairness, guy was camped really hard on the Bull Bear. And the Bull Bear has shown up in some of these later fights with some clutch stuns coming through. So good to see Akumio keep the mental there, because
if I had a criticism, and you're the coach, so you can tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but I just wanted Akumio to chill. Like, there was no upside to continuing to take those fights, because you're not going to knock Pickle Farmer 12 out of lane. He's playing Mordekaiser. No. I don't feel necessary. May not Pickle Farmer out of the late game, though, because they've decided to Death Realm the tankiest character in League of Legends. Rel will not notice.
It saved his life, though, because Kaz couldn't kill him. It was a good play.
Rel will not notice. Does, of course, survive. Mordekaiser retreats safely behind turret.
Sajid's final evolution going to be that ultimate, so an extra cast of going invisible, and also has the new item where his Q is now slow, 30%. So that's going to be really frustrating for the side of Farmville winners to deal with.
Worth noting who's paid the Q at that time. You do have multiple funds available now for Shrewsbury. Aaron going to kick off. Oh, good dive. Magnet Storm on top. There's the heroic entrance. Wombo combo we were looking for. Only really catches to support Nautilus. And that could actually spell disaster as you have a backline dive and an early kill onto Mosai. No Kaisa present for this fight. And very little damage available for Shrewsbury. It all unravels as a result. A heroic effort. We'll see. Can Sajid salvage something? Will avoid the death realm with the QSS. Pickle Farmer 37 and 12 cannot take the Baron alone. So if nothing, Shrewsbury can hold on to that small comfort as number 37 on the jungle Silas assassinates Wosai and teamfight damage at the very beginning of that fight.
And TJ, I've been teasing it.
Oh,
okay, never mind. We're fine.
They get more interesting. Sajid in the 1v1, jungle 1v1 could win it. Which is why number 12 comes over the wall real fast. Oh, that was so well played. Sajid back in, threatens the kill, doesn't find it, flashes to safety over the wall, staying one step ahead of both of these players, and will continue to do so, wasting all of their time.
Boulder Bear, he's behind.
TP will be coming in, as you say. That is Akumio already in the backline, ready to stop this break tank from happening, hovering for the vision. They may well be too isolated. They may be too isolated. If Akumio goes down here, having spent the ultimate, having gone so deep, it could be disastrous. But there's the combo. Magnet Storm all the way into the back lines. And Natick High School are unable to complete the kill. We'll see if the turn is possible. Wosai is here yet again, dumping damage, but yet again being focused down with no HP remaining. Sajid can find one kill, but it will be traded. Loud One is down as the support, and that is a devastating series of pickups in the front line from low end. That should be this Drake going over successfully.
Take the
to the Natick High School Farmville winners.
Okay. All right, this is so big for Farmville winners because that Mountain Soul, if it goes over to the Gatekeepers, that's probably game, right? The extra shield, the extra resistance coming on through, going to be too much to deal with. But TJ, You did a great job highlighting everything in those fights. The one thing I really want to highlight, because I've been teasing it all game, and it finally came true. Number 21, those scatter of the weeks were so clutch, and really what ended up turning around that fight was all the engaged tools, as you called out, around that Baron fight. They were used, they were getting on top of the members of Farmville Winners. That scatter of the week stunned everyone and opened up Silas to kill Wosai and win that fight in the long run.
And again, Wosai going down early in these fights is decisive.
Yeah, all the gold is on Kaisa's shoulders, and if Wosai isn't able to pop off, that is how Farmville Winners come back. But big Baron fight.
Another denial with Magnus Storm still finds two. Akumio in the front line. Baron will be resetting in the meantime. It's got to be kept going. Very risky. Heroic Entrance will arrive in the fight. Lowen already gone. A double kill for Akumio, earning their pay in the late game, keeping Wosai alive. And no sooner had Natick High School earned themselves the lead than Shrewsbury managed to bring it right back. That is 32 kills now in their pocket, a Baron at their belt, and that may be enough to end the game.
This Mordekaiser that has been doing so much work was not able to get into the fight with TP to make the Dragon fight as things get too messy. The Baron goes down, TJ. This is gloom and doom. All 5 members are up. The QSS gets you out of the Death Realm. This should be the base being taken. Jinx and Syndra will be up to try and stop this one, TJ, but this is a very strong Gatekeeper team looking to make this a game 3.
There will be 4 players for this defense. Number 37 on the Silas arriving momentarily. See if anything can be done. Akumio down to half HP. Number 37 stepping into the back line. Does find the 1v1 they were hoping for. Sajid burned very low. Half HP kind of across the board here for Shrewsbury.
Oh no.
Sajid isolated here. Could go down. Will turn on to Pickle Farmer. Shut down regardless. And that now opens up the opportunity for a full chase from the full HP Natick High School members. They will not execute it, but they will keep themselves in this game, which is still anyone's game, despite what the scoreline at the top tells you.
And the goal for the side of Farmville Winners, it should be to just farm up. Take everything that is available to you until this Dragon comes on the map. Both teams are at soul point. Whoever takes this upcoming Dragon, TJ, they're going to win.
This is a darn good game of League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, both these high school teams really delivering, and we kind of teased it and expected it. These guys are good teams, right? I mean, Plat 3, Plat 4 average, that puts you in very much the top 20% of the player base. Diamond 2, that puts you above the top 1% of the player base. So these guys have game, and it's been really fun watching them bring it to the table, take it to each other, and give us a pretty good series here.
This would be game 3 should Shrewsbury pick it up. They currently do have the advantage. Let's not sugarcoat it. The next fight will be this Drake when it comes up in about 1.5 minutes, I believe. Should either team win it, it would be the Soul, which would be a permanent armor advantage, given that it's Mountain Soul. Probably not game-ending in and of itself, but certainly very impactful. We have completed the Chem Tank in the item build category. We have completed the Chem Tank for the Loud One, so I want to call that out. They're going to be a terrifyingly big tank at this point.
And TJ, I think that it's very appropriate to mention that this is a uphill battle for Farmville Winners, and if they want to make it happen, you have to get on Wosai and kill him first. And that's why I'm looking for the Scatter of the Week. That's the tool that 21's been able to use to make things happen. I'm looking for that. If it catches Wosai, that is the opening that could potentially bring Farmville Winners a team fight victory.
No opportunities presented here as we do see a little bit of a shove forward from Shrewsbury. They were poking around the edges of that base. Decided none of those opportunities looked good enough, and they will back away.
It's going to be really tricky here for Farmville Winners because this Dragon, it is spawning very soon, but you can see they're stuck in their base. They don't have the inhibitor. Gatekeepers have done a good job of taking control of this bottom side jungle and gatekeeping the Farmville Winners from getting to this Dragon.
I'm not going to lie to you, Matthew. You got very close to your microphone there.
Oh.
It was like a momentary ASMR stream. Oh, Mordekaiser caught out here. Well, will be in trouble. Taunted in by the Galio. This is the full engage we talked about. And the Magnet Storm is beautiful. Frontline CC is good, but Wosai is dead. There's no damage available for Shrewsbury. They have left their AD carry out to die again. And here comes Lowen for the opposite side. The G needs to pick him up. He is the only damage source still available, but jump for it. Takes the words from my mouth and punishes them. That will be a kill over to him. 12 and 21. Mid laner and the top laner here to save the day, and Sajid's already got 2. Pickle Farmer 12 will save the day. We know he wins the 1v1 versus Akumio, and that means this is going to be a 4-for-4 trade, a tied fight immediately next to the Drake, immediately next to the Soul.
He's got to go back. There are 2 super minions in his base. He can't stop this. If Akumio just hangs around and shuts down these bases, they might be able to take the dragon. He's going to fake it, take the dragon. Instead, this is getting hairy. And TJ, what a dynamite fight we saw. Wosai was taken down early by the Syndra, but the Kazakhs just doing too much work, and things are getting dicey here.
Yeah, Nautilus is not going to be able to hold that wave, and more importantly, this Drake is by no means done. It was a TP back into the fight from Akumio, having reset his HP inside the base, and this will stall things out for long enough that here comes the loud one. He's bound his attacks. He's jumped in with the Ferromancy Magnet Storm combo. He can't pull Pickle Farmer out of the Death Realm, but he can punish him once he reaches the other side. That's going to be the kill. Wosai is back here. Jump forward in the front line. A big taunt, and that will be the Drake picked up for Shrewsbury, as well as 2 critical kills. The Mountain Soul is in their pocket, and maybe the game as well.
Cinder going down. It's got to be game. This has been such a closely contested match, TJ. Both teams showed so much promise, but I mean, good for us. Looks like we get another match, TJ. These guys are going to game 3.
A game 3. Don't want to call it just yet, but it certainly does look that way. The Super Minion few cleverly highlighted earlier did already remove the defense of the Nexus here. It is currently exposed as we go in. The 37th scoring things out. Wosai though just dancing around the side, focusing in on the Nexus, and there you have it. The Shrewsbury Gatekeepers take game number 2. They're going to drive us all the way to game 3 in this series.
That was a rather calm end to what was an extremely closely contested and exciting game, TJ. I mean, the Soul, team fight deciding 4v4, both top laners are left. We're TPing back in. That was just utter madness, and I think it really shows how closely matched these 2 teams are in this state final. We have ourselves a very, very close call here, as some of these matches that we've been casting, the one side of this one is the furthest from that possible, and we get to see a game 3. I'm excited about that.
I am psyched. One of my favorite things in esports is the cutback that happens from the action to play-by-plays as they're still doing their wrap-up. I just caught on my other monitor the wild look I had in my eyes.
Pure excitement coming from us. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break, maybe let that excitement wash off. We'll be back. It's game number 3 of the Baked Bean Bowl right after this. Welcome back to the Play versus Full High School Championship. My name's TJ, joined by one Matthew Cubby Samuelson, and we have had a great series so far.
It has been action-packed. It has been closely contested, and TJ, that is why we find ourselves in a Game 3, which I honestly can say I don't know which team is going to come out on top in the end. I feel like both teams can take it. We've seen a lot of similar champions in the first two games, so I'm really curious to see how this draft goes, see if someone has a significant switch-up going on here.
Let's head right into the draft then. Our producer Pine getting us well on our way. Game number 1 was defined by the jungle. Game number 2, I think, was very clearly defined by the bottom lanes. Now we've got ourselves a Game 3. And we will see who steps up here.
And TJ, something I do want to see on this pick ban list is no Kane. I do not want to see Pickle Farmer 37 get their hands on Kane again, because that was the big difference in the Game 1, right? The Kane just went off, and vice versa. I don't want to see Kaisa for Wosai again. Feels like it's been a very strong champion here for the Gatekeepers. Did very well in both games, was a big carry of the last one, and so a couple switch ups coming on through. I'm not seeing those champions though in Ben, so we could get something very different.
I have a question for you, Cubby, not to throw us too off track here, but we've been going a while. It's getting kind of late my time. As the temperature drops here, do you think I could pull off like a sweater underneath this suit jacket?
Oh, it only if it has a turtleneck. Do your best quick shot impression.
A turtleneck? I don't know
like
if I can get a
sweater.
I can get like a navy sweater that's basically the same shape as this shirt. Would that work?
Absolutely, yeah. I see. I am all pro sweater gang usually.
Pro sweater gang.
Yeah,
all right.
Big fan of sweaters.
Well, it'll be a plot that viewers can track as we head into our later games tonight. Let's pick things up with this draft time. We're going to start with an Anivia first lock. All right, you're the coach. Tell me the current state of Anivia.
Anivia is a champion that I have loved and preached about for years, and she recently had some pretty major changes coming out through because obviously mana items were nerfed. Anivia is really strong this patch. Like, she is a very difficult champion to play, and I think she's sitting at like a 54% win rate, which is dangerous. So it feels like Pickle Farmer 21 wants a piece of the bird coming on into the mid lane. And TJ, there's another Mordekaiser here for the top lane.
There do be another Mordekaiser.
Oh,
More
boy.
importantly, though, I want to note that there's an Alistair.
Ooh.
I don't think too highly of Alistair right now. I guess he's fine, but I wouldn't have picked Alistair whilst Rel was still up, whilst Leona was still up. It feels like there are better options.
What do you have against cows, man? Come on.
Some of my family are vegan, so I don't know.
I guess
That's
TJ,
a pro-cow position.
Secretly not supporting cows because it might have a negative impact on the baked bean community. Don't want to say anything negative about the baked bean
You're
bowl
right.
coming on through.
The baked bean
true sponsor.
state, Massachusetts. Yes. Let's talk through our draft on the opposite side. We do get an Ornn for that top lane battle. Akumia perhaps needing a little bit more stability than the Volibear has been providing them. Kaisa again for Wosai, and oh my lord, what a great support to set that up.
A Rakan coming on through. This is a champion that we haven't seen as much of in the new patch, but has a pretty decent matchup into the Alistar. And TJ, if you want a fast team fight, what better way to start it than with the quickness of Rakan into the grand entrance?
It's very functionally similar to Rel in terms of the late game team fight potential, but you're lacking some of the tankiness. So I would have said...
Wait, TJ.
Is that Yi
It's
jungle?
Master Yi. Oh my goodness.
Okay, Master Yi is really good right now. I will go to bat for the viability of this Yi jungle.
I wonder if it's going to be Duskblade Yi. Because if he Qs and then gets a kill, he turns invisible. And it's really frustrating. I lose to it in ARAMs all the time. I wonder if it works on the Rift.
I don't play ARAM because I'm not a psychopath. So let's find out.
I don't play on the Rift because I'm not a psychopath.
I do feel like it's a little wild to draft Master Yi into Anivia because Anivia's AoE should just be the denial of Master Yi. Am I missing a trick there, or does that also not make a whole lot of sense to you?
Whenever I see Master Yi in a competitive game, I usually drop a question mark ping, but Sajid, he's got other thoughts and did show that he is, one of the big carries on this squad in the last game. So I think Master Yi, if there's a champion that can carry, Master Yi, it's that champion.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat where they have decided that rather than play Game 3 at this late hour, they may just flip a coin. I respect the banter, if nothing else.
I feel like these two teams might be very familiar with each other in the state of Massachusetts. Possible scrim partners, who knows? But it's been fun to see both teams have some fun and some banter going on.
It was heads, so the Natick High School Farmville winners have unfortunately lost this game.
So if that doesn't come true, then do we call the coin flip just
we
fake
say
news?
they're cheating. I think
Okay.
we walk away with that. All right, let's get into things then. Having touched on the draft a little bit, I want to highlight what I think the stress points are. That is this mid lane, where I do really believe in the Anivia, and that is this bot lane where I really don't believe in the Alistair.
Okay. I believe in both teams' ability to perform, so we're gonna have to see which one comes out on top. I'm just pointing to the fans here, TJ. I'm not taking any favorites, even though
I don't think that's what you're supposed to do as an analyst, Cubby, but I respect your self-preservation.
I do not want to be called TSM Cubby by any means. That said, or Massachusetts Cubby, I guess in this case. That said,
they're both from Massachusetts.
Possibly. See, I'm covering myself once again.
You're not even taking a position on that.
Yeah? Nope. I'm just gonna let it fly. This is what TJ has to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. That said, different matchup here in the top lane. We saw the Aurelia game 1. We saw the Voldabear game 2. The answer this time going to be the Ornn, which Mordekaiser does classically counter. And Livia does a lot of damage early.
Oh, flash in.
Got
Jump for it with the Ignite tech. Will go down. First blood passed over in Natick High School.
One of the changes to Anivia was some switching around of the Q damage early. That all-in got even more lethal. And with Ignite in the mid lane, gonna be able to find the kill. TP is burned by Syndra. Some boots to help dodge out on those Qs coming on through in the future. But good start for the bird in the mid lane. As I love the fact that Alistar is just hitting the cowbell in the bot lane. You see that?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
What else are you going to do on Alistar other than emote?
See, that's why I'm a big fan of Alistar, because he has some top-tier emotes.
You know, good reason as any to play a sport.
That said, we are going to have to figure out how this game is going to go. And one thing I have liked about this game so far is the fact that junglers seem to be handshaking early. Yeah. Junglers seem to be handshaking early, which I think, if you are Master Yi, sets you up very well for the rest of the game to come. Because farm on that champion is gross. He can do so much damage later in the game if he is given items.
Typically, the way Master Yi works right now is we're not going to see a whole lot of him early.
That's very true.
This top lane once or twice. Case in point. I suspect that's more because you're not going to get a better chance to gank the Mordekaiser right now. It doesn't really pay to gank Mordekaiser late game. Oh, he didn't get that ward. What a tragedy.
Yeah, he also doesn't have anything else to do on that side of the map until his Raptors spawn. Be coming up shortly, so Master Yi going to make his way over there.
He's going to, as you say, head back to the Raptors, return to being a jungle hermit. And we're not gonna be able to catch up with them.
Nice trade coming in here. Yeah. Akumio has struggled against the Mordekaiser in the first 2 games, so the fact that he's been given a little bit of love. Oh, I say that. Pickle Farmer 37 has different plans.
Yeah, showing up, bullying Akumio again. He will back away from this fight. Oh, Daring, good attempt at getting away, good timing around the bush, but it will not matter. And guard, Grand Pickle Farmer is their first pick will be back in the kill over guy.
Don't like the. Oh my goodness, this is aggressive.
Okay,
where's Jinx?
Alistar on the long roam almost gets themselves killed. Pickle Farmer 99 somehow roamed all the way around behind the bottom lane and did not communicate that to their teammate. Somehow that communication was dropped.
Continued trading is taking place in this bot lane. Could be a problem as he might be going down. One more auto, he dies.
And entrant, Pickle Farmer will go down. TP is coming in, low into the front line, burning at low size HP. Pickle Farmer 12 doesn't find the kill. The Mordekaiser finally chases down the Kai'Sa, but has exposed themselves to danger. Loud One needs to flash away. No HP remaining on him. He will fall. Sajid, what are you up to? Low and hiding behind the turret. It's not level 6 for Sajid. They've got a jewel inside the Death Realm, and there's simply no way to do that, no matter how well-timed your Q casts are. And as a result, Natick High School are off to a sterling start.
DJ, we talked about the fact this is the first game that number 12 on the Mordekaiser seemed to be falling a little bit behind. And what do we have after that TP? 3 kills going over the Mordekaiser that has been such a menace throughout this series. Set up very well in the top lane in a counter matchup as well against the Ornn. It's very favorable for the Mordekaiser, especially as time goes on. Great start for Farmville winners.
Shrewsbury not be taking themselves after that one, but it may get worse. Number 37 arrives, and the Loud One is gone again.
Number 37 getting off to a good start as well. This could lead to a dragon, which it's never a bad look.
Yeah. No,
this is the issue with Master Yi, right? You cannot be on the map early. I mean, we saw it when he tried there.
Right there. That emote right there is my favorite.
How is your favorite not Pengu Dab? I feel like that's like the only right answer.
The board's Jinx is frequently usable as a support.
Okay, that's true.
Because you're just standing there in lane and they're just doing boring things.
It's a great way to be passive-aggressive.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Oh, Steed's told that. We'll see if he gets away with his life.
He wins this, possibly, by the way. You got help.
Could win this. 1v2, all the way in. Ult is up, into the bush, channeling the heal. Akumio's there to try and gain revenge. It'll be a Nivea into the egg. Jump forward arrives. Pickle Farmer over the wall. This could be disastrous for Shrewsbury. And indeed it will be. Jump for it gets only one back. And the humiliation picked up by Pickle Farmer. 99 on the Alistair. Ring the cowbell. It's 9-2. Natick in the lead.
If you're bored in the bot lane, why not just try and roam? And that's what number 99 does there. Finds himself in the top lane on this Alistar, picking up some kills in the right place at the right time, shutting down Master Yi once again. Those 2 deaths coming out for Sajid's last hope. Crucial, right? The fact that he doesn't get rolling, he just isn't a champion. He doesn't get to do anything for the rest of the game. So the fact that he's behind and he's really going for it here.
Underneath the turret, inside the Death Realm, can't really escape, can't reach the safety of the turret, and will be picked up as a result. We're going to see if Akumio can maybe turn this back. They frankly need to have any hope of salvaging this game. But I don't think it likely. Not with Pickle Farmer 37 arriving on the Rengar, leaping out from the shadows to confirm the kill, passing over to their friend, and it all goes awry. A very clean kill from Akumio, staying alive. Some, dare I say, good Ornn mechanics used there. With a grand entrance in on the bot lane, the quickness charm, bringing Lowen to their death.
And just like that, Farmville winners just give a couple of gifts over to their neighbors. Gatekeepers get a couple of freebies, one in the top lane, one in the bot lane. That dive was way too aggressive onto Ornn, who is very good in dives. Death Realm wasn't available, and then Jinx just walked into Rakan for some reason. So that doesn't end well either.
Akumio. Somewhat amused by the continued presence of Rengar in their lane. Will hand over another kill.
That's a shutdown too.
And exactly where you needed it. Sajid really benefiting from the extra gold here.
Damn, this Alistar, is he stuck?
Looks at 3 players around. And right after we said this game was looking so darn good for Natick, what is that? 4 consecutive easy kills just passed over.
We've had 2 pretty clean games out of these teams to get to this 3rd game, and just surprised that we see this now. I guess some nerves maybe coming on through for these players. It's the final game of the state championship. Everything's on the line. Seems a couple of slip-ups coming on out, and the veterans, the gatekeepers who have been winning this event since fall 2018, keeping their mental strong, staying in this one. Oh, Akumio just canceled Death Realm with that W.
I was very impressed.
Wow.
Ornn mechanics, like I said.
They exist on tanks too, man.
So he didn't get that free CS. Not to be toxic, but
He wanted the other ones. Yeah, he has a personal vendetta against the caster minions. As we all do. They're inferior. They're worth less gold.
Does a CS lead, that is to be expected with Pickle Farmer teleporting frequently across the map. Being present in other lanes, Akumio's been driving away. And some Farmville in the top lane.
That's a
Loud one. Oh, good escape. We'll stay ahead of the damage, even as the Jinx Rocket comes through with the good charm as well. To punish the Rengar face. There are a lot of members of Farmville winners here, though. They will end up trading 1-for-1, jungle for jungle.
Junglers go down, the Rengar, or they get out of the Death Chamber at the same time, but priority is still in the hands of Farmville winners, as they have bot lane shoved in, mid lane, and Nibia can get priority whenever she pleases as well. So you have to think this could be easily the second dragon for the team against Master Yi, pitting Gatekeepers into a further hole. But TJ, we have talked about how important it is to get gold on Master Yi. He has completed his first item. It is not going to be that annoying Duskblade build, thank goodness. Instead, going to be the Kraken Slayer on Yi.
We will touch on that because I think that's going to be really powerful, but I also want to acknowledge that the gold lead at this point is dead even despite the kill differential. And a lot of that is in the CS being earned almost across the map by very good Shrewsbury laners, simply not participating in all these roam battles that Natick High School are. You can
It's also
see
the danger of
Blowside-
shutdowns.
Yeah, Blowside for very far ahead, and you have the shutdowns, as you said, passed over to Deep. It's not goal difference, yeah. There'll be a Drake as well. As Shrewsbury, from a disastrous early game, really back in there.
Wow, and quite the push coming out here from Farmville Winners. That's Flash being committed by Mordekaiser. You're going to get the Death Realm off onto Rakan, so another tool going to be missing out on. And I like what Sajid's doing here, right? He knows the Dragon's gone. He doesn't feel comfortable contesting yet on Yi. Go cross map and get something for yourself.
He is being hunted by Fire Jinx Rocket up to determine his position, scare him off with the Rift Herald, and I like that. Natick showing some of the play that got them to this point.
Or drop Yi's here. This could be a fight that Sajid could turn. Does he go for it?
Oh God, coming in. Oh, this is absolutely winnable, but he misses the Ornhorn. It should not matter. Pickle Farm, number 12 in the midst of this fight. Death Realm will end. Akumio flashes away to safety in the meantime, though. Loud one dropped very low. It will not matter. Sajid in the front lines will die instead. That could be devastating. Jump for it is walled out by the Anivia ulti and very nearly goes down. Oh, for a fight that I thought Shrewsbury were about to turn, that ended rather disastrously. At the end of the day, it's still a 1-1 trade, jungler for jungler, nothing more.
That said, Gatekeepers, any fight they can split, you have to feel that with the Yi and the scaling they have with not only Yi, but also Kaisa and Ornn, especially the Wo-size Kaisa, which we've seen do extraordinarily well throughout the series. You have to feel like handshakes are okay for them at this point. They feel good about that.
Lumia will roll into Pickle Farmer up here. You know, it did start dicey. You said that you felt maybe there were some nerves getting to these players. I think they've evened out, and we've ended up just back into it with a great game tonight.
Very close game once again. My eyes, they still have to be on Sajid, right? This Master Yi pick, it's something that is so uncommon and so risky to pull out in a game like this, but if Sajid can get going, it's something that can be lethal and game-changing. Oh.
Lumia will go down. Pickle Farmer 12 again, earning out a lead in the top lane. As Rift Herald will collide with the turret. It seems Natick have decided that they should earn their lead by blowing out the top lane. They've been consistently winning. Here's the Jeep, try and get something back up here. That may have been a mistake. We chase down into 1v2. Kraken Slayer is available. He does a lot of damage, but not enough to stay ahead of the Rengar. Barely alive. Oh, still gets the kill. 37 goes down to him. 12 will find the trade. Loud one and jump for it now in the 1v2. Running from the Mordekaiser. The charm will turn things. You have a TP in as well. The kill goes over to Loud one. The TP now looking rather foolish, but looks necessary for Akumi a mere moment to go.
It was honestly a great flash coming out from the Syndra because the Mordekaiser gets that kill. He gets health back thanks to takedown and might have been able to turn it on the Rakan as well. So the fact that Syndra flashes out, they're able to take down the Mordekaiser, saved what could have been very dangerous destruction. And it feels like Farmville Winners, they're just focusing down Akumio in the top lane, right? It's the third game in a row where they ensure a good matchup. They get their hands on their Mordekaiser. They obviously have a preference over, and this Mordekaiser is set up to do nothing but succeed in this one. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Goodbye.
Blowside thinks he can get something and is shut down. A couple of kills there did go over to Shrewsbury, but in exchange for turrets across the map, that means that Natick High School are growing, not shrinking the gold lead as their kill lead does shrink slightly.
2.5k gold lead now on the side of Farmville Winners. And TJ, for me, the important thing on the scoreboard to keep track of right now, it's actually the dragons and the towers, right? 4 towers to 0, 2 dragons to 0. This is going to create a lot more space for Farmville Winners to get the next upcoming dragons, because you want to get Dragon Soul as fast as possible in this game, on this team, and the game before Master Yi gets a chance to really do something dangerous.
I mean, he's already running around with a giant sword. It's pretty dangerous.
He's well trained.
On the knife. Death Realm will again interrupt. Pull the Forge got time it was deployed onto Rakan, but still useful for the dodge. Ron will, of course, walk away. And is very good at doing. And the team Pickle Farmer well will die alone in a 1v4.
Bought a lot of time for the rest of the squad, though, and the real objective is this dragon. I believe they're going to try and burn this one before the rest of the team gets here, but let's see if we're going to have a contest out of the gatekeeper.
I don't think they can. They're too far away, and Olivia is very, very good at burning objectives. There you go.
Soul
Third
point.
Drake of the game. Soul point, as you note, over to Natick High School.
It's an important break point, and Farmville winners, they have to keep on snowballing this one through. I know that Sajid has struggled a little bit, but I cannot emphasize what Master Yi can do. It doesn't matter what happened in the first 20 minutes once you get your items, if you're able to execute a fight coming on through. I think we've all experienced that at one point if you played this game or not. That said, I want to see Farmville winners potentially posture around this Baron. The TJ, you mentioned Anivia's ability to take objectives. That could be a really easy way to ensure yourself soul point. And Dragon Soul, if you're able to push and pressure Baron in the next couple minutes, secure that objective before the dragon even spawns.
There's the damp you were looking for.
Yeah, it's my favorite. How can you not say that is your favorite emo?
Because, I mean, you've seen me. Do I look like someone who can pull up a dab?
Anyone can do whatever they put their mind to and dream about, DJ. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? That's a really wholesome message, Cody.
Yeah, it is. Nice one to drop, as obviously all these high scores trying to take the state championship, but a lot of them...
Okay, well, don't pat yourself on the back too much. You're not exactly an inspiration yet.
Yeah, we're getting there, right?
Give him a couple more years. He'll be a motivational
we're getting
speaker.
there.
They'll be shipping him in to speak in school gyms.
It's the next step after casting League of Legends, motivational speaking.
You know what?
Here's how I climbed in solo queue.
Something about being like a coach really does, like, there is definitely a career path there, Cody. If you want to take it, Matthew Samuelson, motivational speaker, is the future.
Flash burn there for Rengar, not going to find anything positive. As this game feels tense right now, TJ, because Farmville winners, they have yet to really break the game open, but they are on the cusp of doing so against the Master Yi, as that is a beautiful wall.
Yeah. Talk to the hand. Nobody gets past it to contest the turret, and the ultimate that was trying to be spent there, the quickness from that one, is completely denied.
I'm such a fan of Anivia as a champion. She is... You do so many cool things with this just immobile flying thing and all the zone control tools that she has.
I think Anivia should have an American Eagle skin.
She does. Bird of Prey.
Okay.
See? I know
Anivia's
my
a good
Anivia.
champion.
Yeah. This is Hextech Anivia, this one, I believe. I might be wrong. Might be one of the new skins. I have the Black Frost one, the like legendary one, and the wall looks super cool. So that's all I got.
Well, the Forge God will come through, but the wall denies any punish right as you're talking it up. There will be a TP in from Pickle Farmer Sub on the Mordekaiser, and a good grasp land. That could be trouble for Akumio, but it's a three-man walk-up from the grand entrance. The Anivia AoE on top of all of it just shreds the HP of Shrewsbury. They are all low. This turret will fall, and Natick High School farm up another win in the mid lane.
Only 2 kills, DJ, but this is what breaks the game open. The Baron they're able to take off the back of that. And initially, I was a little worried. They were dumping so many cooldowns into the Ornn, the tankiness of that champion, but it doesn't matter in the end. Too much AoE damage coming through from this Jinx, from this Anivia. And now Baron going over, those purple suits going on over to the blue team. Going to be imperative as they want the real objective, which TJ going to be that soul point that's spawning very soon for the side of Farmville winners.
99 on the outlet, they're dying to Baron. Didn't happen, so out of sight, out of mind. Okay, Baron picked up purple suits, as she's saying. Do you think you could pull off a purple suit?
We might just have to find out.
I think you have to have a certain degree of charisma. I think you have to be like bouncy to pull off a purple suit.
I like this like blue jacket with a purple undershirt, but obviously not a purple suit. I know you like to pull off the green suit, which I also think takes some charisma. It's a dark green, but
It's a dark green. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an English green, rather laid back. Right after the Baron tank, we do have a technical pause here, so we will wait for that to resolve. I assume our admins are on the case.
The tension just keeps
meantime,
growing.
We can just talk about our suits for a second.
You were saying that you got quite the deal on your jacket, which, by the way, I think looks fantastic.
I'm in 5 pixels, so nobody can appreciate that. My internet has completely died on us.
Green screen fun.
No, this is just internet. I'm just coming to you from like 2001 YouTube.
The real old school days, the Justin TV days.
Remember when YouTube used to be like that?
No.
When you would just call up a YouTube video and it just would look like the way my camera looked when we came back in.
It'd take a minute. It'd be like Charlie and like the unicorn. Like it takes like a minute to load. You're like buffers all the time. It's like pixelated too. Yeah.
I barely used YouTube back then because it was mostly for like music videos, and that wasn't my thing. Anyway, I'm told that we have a resume ready to go. And we're back into it. Now, we have had a really, really good game so far, and I want to pick up right there because with the Baron in hand, we're now headed towards this Drake, which would be Mountain Soul for Natick High School.
I think the big concern here for the Gatekeepers is, can they even contest this objective? And looking at the map state right now, TJ, it looks like the answer is no. Going to be even more difficult to overcome the Farmville winners with that Mountain Shield in hand now as well.
Baked Bean Bowl may be coming to an end here in Massachusetts.
Well, if it does come to an end, I just hope that the winner is able to indulge in baked beans from the trophy. That is a requirement.
That better be part of the prizing.
From the trophy.
Mountain Soul in hand with a devastating advantage. Natick High School are heading in for the game. How do you save this for Shrewsbury?
You have to have a fight where Master E pops off, or just try and hold out until the Elder Drake is an option, right? That's a game-ending buff that can turn around a team fight, but it seems like the siege is starting to get pretty strong, and it's really difficult to siege up against this, and maybe against the Elder Zone Control tool coming out from number 21 here, as that's now 2 inhibitor turrets down.
No real ways to get close to these fights, and as you say, a lot of this revolves around the Master Yi. There are more damage threats over on Shrewsbury this time. India will go far forward, does get walled off, gunned up, pulled forward, gun, Billy deployed. Into the death realm he goes. This is an opportunity for all the Mordekaiser is down to turn things round.
Oh no.
Goblin will start things off. And beat in the back line. A bit of double stun. Obliterate, jump first, obliterate the loud one. And now there's very little damage remaining as Sajid is called out as well. Wosai isolated. That will be game. Ladies and gentlemen, Natick High School are your Massachusetts state champions for High School League of Legends. They will complete the game with a dominant team fight here against the Nexus and complete the series 2-1 in the league.
It was a close game 1 and a close game 2, but game 3, I have to say, that was all Farmville's winners as they take that win, take a sip of those baked beans out of the trophy. You just won yourself a state championship in high school. Congrats to all of the players, honestly, on both rosters. As TJ, I cannot emphasize enough, that was a very close series that we had, and I think both teams put their best foot forward and put on a good showing.
I think the big takeaway there, obviously, you get to unseat a dynasty in the end of Shrewsbury. But also the big takeaway there is the amount of talent that is available, apparently in Massachusetts, apparently in one specific state, is incredible. We talk a lot between the two of us about the state of collegiate. Obviously, you're a collegiate coach. We're both collegiate casters. And if there's one takeaway from doing these play versus high school events that I have over and over again drilled into me, it is that the talent here at the high school level that is going to progress into the collegiate system, into the amateur system, is better than ever before.
Just needs some more time to develop, right? And it's really fun watching these games and seeing a lot of promising talent put their best foots forward. As I have to say, it was a very close series. My heart goes out to the Gatekeepers, but they've had their time. They've had their dynasty. Time for another team to take that mantle up, and I think the better team on the day won as well. So props to both teams. I mean, it was really fun showing, and you mentioned it, TJ, a lot of talent to be seen here. Good to see that coming out with these play versus tournaments, as if you're not going on to college, you can always play again next year.
You can always play again next year. Great segue, Cummy. You can sign up. Spring enrollment is now open for the Spring 21 Play Versus season. You can sign up to compete starting March 1st. Enroll today at playversus.com. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to go to a break. When we return, we've got more of the High School League of Legends Finals. Don't go far.